Hello, guys. Hello. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the market. I mean, this is crude oil, and crude oil does kind of as expected. We talked about the range, and this will put pressure a little bit on the equity markets, and we can see that already. That the Nasdaq is down a little bit, so we get finally a little bit of a pullback. Market traded lower towards this double bottom here. Let me get rid of the indicator. Leave. All right. We had a kind of a pullback today towards that area here of double bottom. So this 300, 280 area, kind of, this is where we traded this morning, European hours. Kind of as expected that the market needs to breathe a little bit. I mean, the rally is such dynamic that it's really tough to really fully hold on a short. Pattern-wise, I think we have something we can work with, okay? On the daily chart at least, when we have a break of this yesterday low of the cash session, this was the open yesterday, so this $300 area, if you trade below that, then we could try here. We could try a small breakout towards let's say the markets for a little bit of a correction. Okay, that's kind of that's basically where I stand here. So I'm trying to probably trade on the short here if the market should break. Okay, other than that, we can see that the dynamic is crazy, but the market will need to breathe anyways at some stage. And we still have here, when we zoom in, we still have here the possibility that if the daily breaks, we should at least get a little bit of follow through. Okay, we should get at least a little bit of follow through. Let's see, but that's the trigger here in the Nasdaq. It's a very clear trigger, which would be great to trade. Dow looks a little bit stronger today, and this is kind of what we can expect as well in this kind of bullish scenarios, that if the Nasdaq is weaker, maybe some capital goes more into the standard markets, and the Dow today is a little bit stronger, but still no clear trade pattern. As said yesterday, there was an opportunity at the market open to have this kind of red to green move, meaning if the day before was negative and we turned bullish, so red to green, or in my colors, the red to gray move, then this is something we could potentially try. Just to talk this through a little bit so you can see that was the very quick move to the upside from the red to the gray, and that was kind of this move we could try. It was very quick and hard at the open. I mean, it's something though what would be able to trade. It was a 140 point move, and this is for sure something where we would not lose money if we would have tried it out. I mean, it's a little bit tough because it was again at the market open yesterday, but that was the trade. What could be done yesterday? I did the trade yesterday, and having said that, we are in let's say a little bit of a more tight range. Really, signals we get when we go above yesterday's high, so we will need to go about 100 points higher today. If so, we would open more room to the upside and then towards this kind of next structure here to the top. That's kind of what we would need and then see what would happen there then. So basically this would be an overall 400-500 point potential to the upside if there's more bullishness in the Dow. And again, this could be done in one day. Okay. S&P holds. As we can see, market is neutral today at the pre-market. We come back a little bit, but we are at all-time highs. No news today, no significant news today in the market. So that's also something where we cannot really, where we don't really know what to expect. 1 second. All right. So today, no real news coming here. So we need to check what the market will offer us here. All right, here's the S&P again, and let's see. We are still at all-time highs. Market is still neutral, so market is still showing a little bit of strength. There is no strength though. It's in Bitcoin and the crypto space. Okay, and that's kind of the question. What we have to ask ourselves: Is maybe the crypto space again a leading indicator for the other for our other markets, meaning that that this trend here to the upside may be broken, and maybe the correction to the upside is over. So 80,000 was a target we reached. As you can see, I'm still hoping for more. Okay, and in the end, it's kind of a little bit of alarming that there was no push further. But in the end, this trend here is still intact. So that's kind of still promising. Ethereum is definitely weaker. We can see we have a break of this trend line here. Need to see what this means. If we trade below yesterday's low or trade below this 555, so the 255, excuse me, then we are more into danger, and then we would probably go even lower. Solana kind of the same, as you say, as mentioned before a couple of times. Lack of dynamic right now. Pattern is still there. I mean, the supply and demand pattern, so resistance and support pattern here is still there. Market moved up from our entry, but in the end, not real movement. And I think it's too early as well to move the stop to break even in the end, you know. Crude oil, as mentioned before, here is dynamic to the upside. This would potentially lead to let's say pressure on the equity markets. Gold comes into this support zone here, which is kind of now interesting, as I mentioned before. So this is something where we could start accumulating if you are in the short-term bullish case. And that summarizes it quite well for today, and we need to see what will happen later.